Welcome, everybody. So glad to be back with you this afternoon. And thank you. Thank you for tuning into our Leaders Over Lunch series that we've been so proud to bring to you from the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts. Now, I know you're saying that, where is your partner? Where is your partner, the incredible Attorney Joseph Feaster, who happens to also be the chairman of your board? Well, Attorney Feaster is out there like you today, witnessing this program, but also, as you know, extremely busy individual. And so he's allowing me to have the opportunity to come to you today to do this. And so I bring you greetings from our board and from Chairman Feaster. But now we want to get back into our program. We have a special change to our usual format today. You know, throughout our 102-year history, the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts has supported the small business owners and the entrepreneurs who are a vital part of the communities we serve. So today, we are pleased to be hosting the Local Small Business Administration, or as is usually known, the SBA. I'm Dr. J. Keith Motley, typically serving as Chancellor Emeritus and Professor at the University of Massachusetts, Boston, but today I humbly serve as the Consultant President and CEO for the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts. We are joined this morning by the incredible person who's celebrating his birthday today, Robert Nelson, the District Manager of the SBA Massachusetts District Office, and Carlos Hernandez, Lender Relations Specialist of the SBA Massachusetts District Office. We will start our session with a special announcement and a presentation from Mr. Nelson, followed by Carlos Hernandez, who will be presenting today's topic, Understanding the SBA COVID-19 Economic Injury Disaster Loan. That's a whole lot of title. Understanding the SBA COVID-19 Economic Injury Disaster Loan. Audience, you know we've gotten better at this question and answer thing. Myself and Chairman Feaster started out not even knowing what it was, but now we know how to do this. And so we want you to use that feature to ask questions. You know, our audience today is small on purpose. It's about small business owners, and we wanted you to be here to ask the questions and have an intimate conversation with us. So thanks to the staff at the Urban League that helped to put this event together, Natalie Haywood, Alvin Peters, Nell Uda, William Watkins, and Charles Stewart for a wonderful job. As you know, this is an hour-long session. It's during lunchtime. So enjoy your lunch. Get that sip of tea, have some water on us, and sit back and just listen, learn, and chill. Thank you for joining us today. And at this time, I'm going to turn the program over to SBA District Director, Robert Nelson.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Motley, and it's wonderful to be here with all of you today, and want to thank the entire team at the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts and Chairman Feaster for your partnership and your support and collaboration over many, many years. But one of the things that Dr. Motley and myself, we wanted to formally announce is the execution of a strategic alliance agreement between the Massachusetts SBA and the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts. And, you know, we've been working together for a good number of years and in order to try to help underserved small businesses and to help build vibrant communities. And this strategic alliance agreement is only going to strengthen the relationship between us, and so that we can do more. and to reach more people and to make sure that everyone knows about programs and resources from the SBA side within the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts, members in your community, but to make sure that the folks within the SBA community know about the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts and your programs and the resources that you have available. And so it's only working together that we're able to achieve results. As you know, Dr. Motley, and these relationships are extremely important. And I am just really honored that we've executed this agreement between us, and it is going to lead to some powerful impacts for small businesses and the community as a whole. And so I wanted to touch on briefly a recent announcement that SBA's Administrator Isabel Guzman made about the SBA Community Navigator Grant Pilot Program. And so we recently announced the winners of the grants. So there are 3 different tiers of awards. Tier 1 is a national winner, and then tier 2 and tier 3 are more local grant winners. And so very pleased to announce that the National Urban League is a tier 1 grantee under SBA's Community Navigator Grant Program. And I know that this is going to lead to greater opportunities with the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts to work with the SBA. And when you look at the Strategic Alliance Agreement, but you build on top of that what the potential is through the Community Navigator Grant Program, I just see tremendous opportunities. And so I'm certainly encouraged and optimistic about some of the direction and where we're going with this administration in order to build back better, to make sure that there's equity and opportunity. And you have the commitment of the SBA that we're here to help as many folks as possible to access capital, technical assistance, but government contracting assistance. And so, Dr. Motley, we want to do more. And so there are positive indicators when we look at our regular loan activity last year versus fiscal year 2020. We saw a really good increase in loans to African Americans through SBA's traditional loan programs in 2021. Also loans to our women, to our Asian and AAPI small business owners. But we're looking to do a lot more and even to increase those numbers even further. And I can tell you that one of the things that SBA has announced for fiscal year 2022, which just started on 10/1, is that we have fee incentives in place for no fees on SBA's traditional loans of under $350,000, and that's intended to try to help small businesses with those low dollar loans. And we all know that our underserved small businesses, that's traditionally where they're looking to get the capital, whether it's a loan, for under 100,000, but this is for loans under 350,000. And I know historically when SBA has implemented these fee incentives, the last time that we implemented no fees on low dollar loans was coming out of the economic crisis, in order to help underserved small businesses. It absolutely drove traffic, increased capital for underserved small businesses, and I would expect that that same thing is going to happen in fiscal year 2022. But you have a very energized SBA team here. Carlos Hernandez, you'll hear from him talking about the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program and the opportunities. And so pay close attention, because these are real dollars, including some grant opportunities through the targeted advance and the supplemental advance. But you have a small but powerful team. Nadine Boone, who's our lead business opportunity specialist. We're 12 strong, so a small but mighty SBA, local SBA office. and we are here to do whatever we can. But one last thing that I'll just touch on, because I know we have a lot of information that we want to share, is, with the passing of the infrastructure bill and the signing of that bill by President Biden, I know there's going to be opportunities for government sales and government contracting, and we want to make sure that the small businesses get their fair share of those government spends, and especially our underserved small businesses with those contracting dollars. So this is another opportunity that I think with the Urban League of Eastern Mass and the SBA for us to do some education and outreach on SBA certification programs, how to be successful with government sales and government contracting. But I don't have to tell you, Dr. Motley, it's, Build Back Better. It's about building vibrant communities, and the strategic alliance agreement between our organizations is just a symbol, but it strengthens our relationship, as I mentioned earlier, and we look forward to continuing to do more. So thank you, sir.
Well, I'm so grateful to you, and it's more than just a symbol, because we know that any symbol without substance is not worth too much. And you have demonstrated throughout our partnership the worth of the SBA, and that you are really a partner who really has been stepping up and standing up. I remember the last forum we had in the middle of this COVID allowed for us to get lots of the businesses ready and prepared to take advantage of PPP loans and other kinds of things around, and many of them have survived through it as a result of some of those conversations and actions. And more importantly, you're allowing us to note that the National Urban League has received a tier level 1. And I know Chairman Feaster is out there, and he acknowledged that and said, we're going to be all over it. And making sure some of that trickles down here to this affiliate and to the community of listeners that are out here today. Because every dollar that comes into this Urban League goes out into the community, as we've been doing for 102 years or 103 years, and it's going to make a difference. And so thank you for this partnership. And so I know that we're going to move into the next phase of the partnership. Bob, so what I'm going to do is, why don't you introduce Carlos to our listeners so that he can begin his presentation.
Wonderful. So Carlos Hernandez is part of the lender relations team here in Massachusetts, and with our regular loan programs, we work with banks and provide a guarantee to help them get to yes, so that they'll make the loan happen. But Carlos has been with the Massachusetts SBA office for a good many years, came to us from Florida, a veteran, and Carlos has developed quite a following across the Commonwealth and across the country with helping lenders and small businesses with access to capital. So very happy that we have Carlos to make this presentation today on the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program and the 2 grant opportunities that come with the application. So Carlos, I'll turn it over to you, but thank you again, Dr. Motley, and for the entire team at the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts for what you do and what we're going to do together.
Hey, thank you, Bob, and thank you for the introduction. Thank you, Dr. Motley and Charles here for setting this up and helping us spread the word and to help understand the economic injury disaster loan and the economic targeted advances that come with it. So that's the biggest thing. I know earlier today, as the presentation was started, it's all really about understanding this program, how it works, and how you as a small business owner can benefit from these incentives and grant opportunities available through this economic injury disaster loan. So if you haven't heard about it, it's not too late, but it's getting close, because the last date to apply is going to be December 31st, 2021. So we're talking about right around the corner. So these are things that, sessions like this that help us to spread the word and let you know as a small business owner that there is help available. And it's just a matter of now connecting you with the right resources. So hopefully after this presentation, you'll be able to go back, maybe back to your counterparts, maybe other small business owners. If you're not a small business owner yourself, maybe a family business that you may know of or frequent, during your day-to-day. So it's, a good opportunity to learn a little bit about the program, walk away, better informed. So with that, it's not going to be a long presentation. I know it's a government program, but it's not going to be a long presentation. So do not panic, right? It's going to be more of, at the end, we want you to connect you with some names, some personnel, some email addresses. So if you don't get your answer today, you'll have somebody to contact. So with that, my name is Carlos Hernandez, Lending Relations Specialist here at the Massachusetts District Office. We make up, it's a three-man team, we're in charge of a lot of different programs out there. But, at the end of the day, Massachusetts is a small state and you're able to connect with us easily. It's Dan Martinello and Eli Spayu. So you may see those names throughout this presentation. I may, give you some pointers from them. So you're in good hands here at the SBA Massachusetts office. So what is this program, right, that we're talking about? So it's a real program. Dollars are going out, approvals are being made. So as of September 30th, you'll notice right here's a little quick snapshot of the program throughout the region. Now for New England, it's considered Region 1. So, it couples up all the, Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Vermont. So this part, but you'll notice there that you can see the breakdown of the number of approvals, the dollars that are going out, the small businesses that are receiving it. So it's real numbers, real money that's going out there. It's real dollars. So it's something that if you feel like, hey, this program might not be for me, don't sell yourself short. Make sure to apply, and we'll tell you how to do that here shortly. All right. So first part, we did talk about in the beginning some grant programs, right? We like that, right? We want first free money before we want to repay any money. But first of all, I just want just to give you a quick overview of the COVID loan program itself. So this program right here is available to any small business that has been impacted by COVID-19. And what's a little bit unique about this program, it's not like your traditional program that you would or commercial loan that you get at a bank. So you will not be going to a lender to receive this funding, more as you're going directly to SBA and applying. So in effect, SBA becomes the lender. They are the bank. They're issuing the check. Money's coming straight from the Treasury to the business checking account. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this. And the reason why is, in order to receive or to apply for the grant funding, you have to apply for the loan. But I want to make something real clear, though. You don't have to get approved or take the loan if you are approved to receive the funding, that grant funding. So that's very important. So in order for you to, apply for the grants, you have to apply for the loan. It's part of the regulation. It's a statutory requirement. It's the way it was written in the bill. So just follow along and we'll show you. It's not a painful process. But if this is something that interests you, let's just say you're a small business owner, COVID, you close your doors for a while, maybe sales are dropping. You're saying, now is a good time to receive some working capital here to keep your operations going, keep your doors open, and to help mitigate, the losses. So this here is a loan that you can apply directly through the SBA. It's all on SBA's website. And so what it requires for you is you'll go in and create a username and password, and make sure you remember to write that down or keep it in a safe spot. You don't want to, forget your password. And it's all done through this online portal, right? It walks you step by step. You input some information about the business, you yourself as a principal, and you submit it. And when you start an application and submit it, you will receive an application number. It's about 8 to 10 digits. Make sure you write that down and keep it in a safe spot. Because if you have a question or you want to get a follow-up or a concern, or maybe a change has come up from the time you apply to the time you close, that application number is your key, right? With that, we can find, your loan, we can find the notes on it, we can give you an update. So make sure you keep that in a safe place, because believe it or not, you don't want to, there's millions of loan applications in the system. I'm talking millions. Right. So it's not as easy as, hey, I'm in Boston. My business is, on 123 Main Street. Can you find it? It's not that easy. So that application number is key. So let's talk about the loan itself. So it got really generous repayment terms. You're talking about a 3.75 fixed interest rate for 30 years. 3.75, it's fixed, right? For the entire term. So that's really good. It gives you a lot of flexibility in order for, to help get that working capital, make your regular payments at a low payment. So that way you can, keep your business going. Also too, it comes with a 2-year deferment period. So 2 years, so your first payment won't be made for 2 years. So that's huge, right? Imagine that. Where else would you get some type of repayment like that? A deferment built in for 2 years. Well, yes, interest is accruing during that 2-year deferment period, but it's a 30-year repayment term. So that's great right there. It's flexible use, so you can really use it for a lot of different business purposes. You don't just have to use it, for, just to keep your lights on, right? You can use it for, your normal operating expenses. You can use it to help pay for like some personal protection gear. You can use it for debt payment. We'll talk a little bit about that. So it's really flexible. Now, there are some things you can't use the money for, right? You can't take a loan that's intended to help you during this disaster to buy another business, right? Or to buy another property, right? You're now growing your business, right? We have different programs for that, but that's separate, right? This is really intended for you right now. Say, hey, I'm being impacted. My business is not doing as it was pre-pandemic. I need these funds to keep me in operation, right? That's what this loan is intended for. So again, it's through the SBA directly. You're not going to the bank down the street. You're going to the SBA website. You're applying directly. So, and this is one thing I want make sure that's important too. This application, there's no fee to apply, right? You're not paying, you don't need a credit card to apply, right? You're not paying anyone $25 the application fee, $100 application fee. It's no application fee, right? So it's just more the cost is your time to do it. So if someone comes to you and say, hey, I'll pay you, you pay me, a percentage of your loan amount, or you pay me a couple $100, I'll do it for you. You may want to reconsider that offer because it's not, there's no charge to apply. And the good news is, I know you've talked with our friends here at the Urban League, maybe somebody at the office. We do have resource partners that are available through the state to help you with this application. So these are personnel, they're partners with the SBA, know this program, know it, have successfully, inputted, submitted applications with the borrowers and received funding. So there is help to help you with this. So don't let that alarm you. All right, so here, next page, we just see the quick snapshot. You'll notice you can get a EIDL loan as little as $1,000 up to the maximum $2 million. So there is a threshold, right? 500,000 and below. There's a formula that they will calculate using your 2019 tax return numbers. So for everyone here on air today, 2019 tax returns is really going to be your guiding light. So you'll use that information to help you throughout this process. So that, and then once you increase over 500 to 2 million, then SBA is pulling your information and really going to be doing some type of underwriting calculation close to what a bank would do. Under 500,000, there's a straight formula that they're looking at. Over 500 to 2 million, there's going to be some conventional underwriting techniques looking at it to make sure they get with a proper loan amount that you'll be eligible for in order to repay. You'll notice there are some minimum credit scores there. So you're looking at 570 for anything 25,000 or below, which also look at those bullets right there. No collateral. There's no personal guarantee on anything 25,000 or below, which is fantastic. Like where would you get something like that? 25,000 to 500,000, minimum credit score of 570. There will be a collateral UCC filing for anything over $25,000, and a personal guarantee comes into the picture anything over 200,000. So that still means you can get up to 200,000 potentially with no personal guarantee. That's amazing, to be honest with you. And then over 500 to 2 million, you'll see that the collateral equals UCC filing against the business and any business real estate. So just good information here for you. It really depends what the amount that you'll be eligible for, but you can see there's a wide spectrum there and some flexible credit score requirements. You can use this for payroll. You can use it for rent payments, buy inventory. You can use it for material costs, commercial debt. So monthly payments, you can help prepay your rent, or you can help, like say you took out last year or this year, you couldn't get an answer real quick, or maybe your credit took a hit and you had to go out real quick and buy get a a hard money lender or maybe some online lender gave you a temporary loan that 20% interest, you can use your COVID-19 money to help pay that down. That's big. That's huge right there, right? You can help take that low, you had a high interest loan that you took out to help keep your business open and pay it down with this, and now you'll be at a 3.75 fixed for 30 years. So some really, really good opportunity there. And also, if you have a federal debt out there, maybe you got a 7A loan, maybe a 504 commercial loan with the SBA, you can use that money now to make monthly payments on your federal debt. So, they really opened up the uses for this program here. So it's a really good opportunity for you. So if you haven't applied, there is time available for you. But look at the timeline though. You depending on the loan amount, there is a large number of loans going there. So just make sure that you leave enough time. You submit all the documents that is requested. It's all online now. It's all through the portal. You're just uploading all your documents and you're submitting. So that's our loan program itself. So it was like I said, it was going to be a quick overview for you. It's available to you. And in order to apply for these grants, what we're going to be talking about next, you have to apply for the loan, because what happens is, as you're inputting your information in the loan application, it's going to be pulling your information. It's going to say, hey, you may be eligible for these grants. Here's the link to apply for the grant money. So that's once you receive that information in your email. So make sure you put in a good email first. That's another tip, right? Make sure you put a working email and check it, because once you get confirmation, add it to your regular email. Don't let it go to your trash, which happened. Don't let it go to your spam, your trash inbox, and miss that email completely. Because what happens is, as soon as you submit your COVID application, it's going to pull your information, say, hey, you may be eligible for some grant funding. Here's the link to apply, and it's sent to you via email. So believe me, throughout this past year, we've worked with a lot of small businesses that said, oh, it was in my trash inbox this whole time. So make sure that you save it and you put it like as someone trustworthy at SBA emails. So here we go. So we're going to be talking about the target idle advance and supplemental target and advance. And I was joking earlier today. I said, hey, I got my green tie on today because this is about it's not money. It's about some grant funding available to you as a small business owner that does not have to be repaid. That's big. And you see how it says in there, it's for the hardest hit businesses and private nonprofits. So we'll tell you exactly what that means. So this funding, while it is, grant funding through the SBA, it's not anyone can get it, right? Well, I'd be applying too. I say, hey, I could use some cash, but it doesn't work that way. There are some requirements in place for you to receive this funding. So once you submit your application through the SBA, you're going to be sent an email. It's called an invitation. It's an invitation to targeted idle events. It's going to say it right in the heading, invitation to target idle events. And with that, when you receive that link, make sure you complete the information. But what's going to be asking you now is, you could potentially receive up to $10,000 of grant money to your small businesses. But there are 3 main requirements, and you must meet each 3 in order for you to receive that funding. So 1, you have to be in a low-income community, and this is the business has to be located in there. It's the way the law was written. It's in statute. So I know, say your business not in a low-income community, but you work in a low-income community. That doesn't count. The small business, the address has to be located in a low-income community. And the way they figure that out is there's a mapping tool. That link there, we can share the presentation after, or you can go on our website, sba.gov/disaster. You click on that tool and open up a map. It looks like almost like a Google map, right? You put your information in there, your address, you hit submit, and it's going to show green or red no that you're in there. If it's green, you can continue. Yeah, you meet that requirement. So second requirement, you can demonstrate that no more than 30, you had more than 30% reduction in revenue when you're comparing an 8-week period from 2020 to 2019. So for a lot of businesses, that's easily done, right? You're saying, hey man, 2020, I can show you make more than 8 weeks, right? I lost a lot of sales, lost a lot of revenue. So, you'll be completing just a little table to demonstrate the 8-week period. Say, hey, this is how much I made in 2019. It was more than that I did in 2020 for this period. So if you can do that and it's greater than 30%, you can keep going to the third point here, which is you have to have fewer than 300 employees, which we find a lot of businesses that's easily, you can easily meet that one. So just a quick recap. In order to be eligible for the target EIDL advance, you got to be the business has to be located in a low-income community. You can demonstrate more than a 30% reduction in revenue, and you have fewer than 300 employees. Right? You submit that information back as part of your target EIDL advance. They receive the information, they process it, and then from there, it's going to be once approved, it goes to the information that you inputted, like the bank information that you input in your application. So that's why it's important when you're entering a bank number, your account number, that it's a correct one, it's a working, and that is your business checking account, because that's very important. You'd be amazed how many times a small business like, hey, I put in a bank account number that I don't have anymore, or I changed banks, whatever the case may. Make sure you put in an active one. It's the current one, because once it's approved, these funds goes deposited into that checking account that you put in your actual application. All right. So let's say you got, if you put in for your supplemental, so they pull information now from that targeted, for that targeted advance application, and they'll say, hey, now you're eligible for this supplemental target advance potentially. So they'll take the information from that, and then if you meet these additional requirements, now you're eligible for the extra 5,000 as a top off for a potential maximum of 15,000. So to be eligible for what we call the supplemental targeted advance, one, you're located in a low income community, which is, if you were eligible for the targeted and the address is the same, then that's not a problem, right? This one then is also two, you can prove more than a 50% economic loss during that 8-week period. Not everybody can do that, right? I know for, a lot of times 30% small businesses, you can do the number, but if you can show 50%, that really shows you that you were, greatly impacted by this COVID-19. And this is, funding for you, just to help you, get your business back in operation, back and running. So this is really for those small businesses that really were hit hard. So if you can prove more than 50% and you have fewer than 10 employees, so 10 or fewer, you're eligible for the extra 5,000 for a total of 15,000. And believe me, I've seen small business, both of them, just, come through, so it's something that we find just a lot of people just don't know. I call a business owner, you're calling us for advice or some guidance, maybe a lender. And you're like, hey, have you applied for, it seems like you were really hit hard, you're maybe for one of these communities. Have you applied? And they're like, I didn't even know that was an option. So make sure that, at the end of the day, that if it's not you, you should take it to your communities out there, your networks, and you share this information, because 12/31 is right around the corner. So how's the process work? Right? It's really simple, though, to be honest with you. You go to sba.gov/EIDL. It's going to give you everything you need to know. It's going to have information there, details, links, FAQs, like if I, have some special circumstances, I'm sure that somebody has already asked a question. They have FAQs, a bunch of them, and you can read through it for different scenarios, right? So all the website information is on there. Then you submit that information, and it goes through your portal. So this is the big thing too. It's everything's done through that portal. So once you go to create your profile, it's going to take you through the application process. This is all electronic through SBA's online portal. If you want a status update, go back into that portal. You need to upload a document, go back into that portal, all done through that portal. If you email me and say, hey, here's my application, there's really nothing I can do with it. It has to go through that portal. This is what the website looks like. You go to sba.gov, you'll notice you can, it says apply for COVID-19 assistance. You can go there, or you can go to the targeted advance page. It all, at the end of the day, they all go to the same website. So here at the end, we're counting down the slides here. I'll put here Carlos's tips and pointers, right? This is for you. This is some quick takeaways. So if you want to check the application, you go through that portal. Go through the portal, click on the box, enter your username and password, you can go in there. What happened though? Let's say you've listened to this call 10 months ago, or maybe during the summer you were just browsing the website, you applied on your own and you didn't get that targeted advance invitation, or maybe you did. You're going back, you're like, hey, I never thought about checking my spam. You go there after to this presentation, you find that it was in your spam, because they do expire after a number of weeks. You can always request a new one, get resent to you. So you can either call that number there or email targetedadvance@sba.gov, and they can, resend you that invitation link, because it has to be done through that link. Also too, so let's just say you got back and you get a decline letter, say, hey, you're not eligible. It doesn't mean the end of the world just yet, right? Because you may not be eligible, but you can always submit for reconsideration. Just say, let's say that the application was wrong. We'll see, for example, you answered a question incorrectly by error. It was an error. Say I put in that I was behind on child support payments, but it was an error. You can correct that, right? You can submit for reconsideration, and they will allow you to reapply through that method as well. So if you get declined, reach out to us. We can give you some more guidance, or in the actual decline letter, they do provide you some steps you can take to request reconsideration. Also too, very important, there's a bunch of spam, identity theft going out there, scams. Unfortunately, anytime there's some type of disaster, there's always someone there looking to make a dollar. So whatever you do, if you get information from us, make sure that it's from @sba.gov email address. That's what you're looking for, not at small business, we're helping you, or at targeted event, right? Or make sure it always ends at sba.gov. If you're wary of tech, or you're like, hey, I don't really trust this email, send us an email. We can look into it. We can see find the name, and we can track notes and see if that was really sent from us. So we have options there. And I put this last one in bold because it's very, very important. Do not submit duplicate COVID EIDL applications. Oh, don't do that. Whatever you do, do not do it. Always use the original application number. Remember, that's that number I told you to write down and keep it in the safe spot, because you're going to always go back to it. Do not do duplicates. If you do duplicates, it could look like fraud. It's like, hey, look at this person opening up 20 applications for this one business. So whatever you do, do not make same or duplicate applications, right? Once you make the one and it's submitted, that's what we're going to be working with. So that's just really at the end. We talked about the targeted advances, and I just wanted to add this slide because you may be on here today and not need any type of assistance. You're like, hey, I'm doing good actually. The COVID-19, I got a new line, or I got a new business going. I was able to open a second location, or now online is orders are now building up that I need money to grow my business, not maintain it. So there is incentive still in play through our standard program. So there's the disaster side, and now we have just our normal operating business programs, and we call 7A and 504. But for our 7A, that's really a business loan. We do have different incentives in place. So if you do need some new money, some money to open that, open a second location or grow your business, you can reach out to us. We can give you some more information. But normally, there's typically a guarantee fee attached to these deals. But for anything 350 and below, they're being waived right now for our fiscal year 2022, which ends next year, September 30th. So just want a quick snapshot for you. And with that, here's some information. You can subscribe to our newsletter, which is a wonderful newsletter, gives us different events like today's and different other opportunities available. Got a little Twitter, so you can tweet us at SBA Massachusetts. Got email. So this email right here is something you can share with your friends, share with everyone. Say if they got a question, they got a problem, they got an issue, they want more information, whatever the case may be, send it to Massachusetts DO, and there's a team there that monitor it every day, and that we respond to it depending on what the question or need is. And also you can call, right? It's the people's phone right there. People's phone is my cell phone, 202-853-0972. Shoot me a call, a text, my email address right there, and I can work with you and gladly get back to you or answer any questions you may have. So with that, Hopefully you were able to, get some new information, understand the EIDL loan program a little bit better, and be able to go out there, spread the word, and help, small businesses that have been impacted by COVID-19. So with that, I'm going to pass it back to you, Dr. Motley, and thank you. And I'm sure we got questions if needed.
Man, you are something else, Carlos. You got Carlos's tips. You got the people's line. You gave us all kinds of information. You are something else, man. Thank you so much for being so transparent about this process, but also energetic and enthusiastic about it. There are some people in there asking questions. One of them is, I just started a business in September. What about me?
That's a really good question. And this is not something I added in there. So that's a good one. So,
see, we trying to catch you, man.
Yeah, you got me on that one. You got me. You got me on that one. So yes. So these programs are more for businesses that were in operation prior to January 31st. So if you're 2020, so if you were a new business starting now after that date, you opened the business during almost in the pandemic, right? So you're in a different boat versus someone who was already in business and they got, pandemic, landed on top of everyone. So that's a very important point there, that date you have to be active. You don't necessarily have your doors open, but you could show like, hey, I have leases, I got contracts out, invoices already paid, but it has to be prior to January 31st, 2020.
Okay. And so, you mentioned several things that people need to be cautionary about. What have you seen to be the most frequent kind of challenge that someone has when they're going through this process? You mentioned some of them. You said, don't send multiple, app, don't, because someone will think you're doing fraud. Okay.
Right.
Are there other kinds of tips you have for folks, or some things that you just said, man, I wish they wouldn't have done it like that, because I'm trying to get you this money. That's why I wear a green tie to the events I do. And here you are trying to make it so I can't give you this money. So, are there some things that just sort of irk you just a little bit that you wish people would, learn to do differently?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. There are. One is accurate information, right? Don't be in a rush to get this in. I know some people are like, hey, I'm gonna just do it real quick on my break, put this application in. And what happens is they're taking that information to say, hey, add application, this is what you entered. This is what you gave us. You told me on the application you made $1 million.
Wait a minute, hold up. You mean you actually read the stuff?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a couple people reading it, right? Because it goes through a team. But make sure it's accurate information that you're pulling out. So by this time, your 2019 tax return is probably done, right? You can pull that over and say, hey, I made, this is my revenues here. This is my cost of goods sold. You can pull it right from there and enter it. So make sure it's accurate, up to date. And two, one thing is the SBA, as part of this process, they're verifying that you're filing your tax returns. Mm-hmm. So I know some businesses, I'm not nationwide here. I've been doing great trying to find out. They're like, hey, why haven't I received my funding? Because believe it or not, SBA is looking to give this money. They want this money out. They want to take it out. They want to give it to small business owners. But there are requirements in place. And one thing is, if you haven't filed your tax returns, that's pretty. It's hard to hurt. It's hard to help you there. And so make sure you're doing that. And two, part of the application, something called a 4506T. So this is how they verify it with the tax return. It's an IRS form 4506T, not an SBA form 4506T. So what that means is the information you put in that form is sent over to the IRS. We knock on the IRS door, say, hey, can you just verify that this business filed their taxes? If you put a different name on there, let's say you put a different name, you file your tax return under, say, me as a sole prop, I filed it under Carlos Hernandez, but my application, I'll put, Urban League Carlos Hernandez, right? It doesn't match. So make sure the 4506T matches exactly what's written on your tax return. I'm talking about name, address, title of the owner, Make sure it matches, even if you moved, 2
Wait a
years
minute,
ago
man.
or
Wait a
last
minute.
year.
Hold up. You mean you got somebody watching you to make
IRS,
sure
right? It's
you got
IRS, right?
the
Right.
IRS is
IRS, we don't know
watching
this person.
you to make sure that everything is cool?
Right, right. So yeah,
Oh man.
it's really, it's part of the process, is built in the statute. So it's just part of the
Yes.
requirements they do, and for the most part they go through no problem. But when we do find a problem, it's going to be more like, well, my business address is changed, or I changed the name of my business, or I used to be a sole prop, now I'm LLC. So make sure it just matches what you file in your tax return. Is at the end of the day, that's a good tip.
So I know that we had Maria Furman who said she needs that $350,000 loan application, and so she should go online to do that. Find that applicant. What should she do?
So good. So that's a good point here. So yeah, so we have one thing I'll share with you today is we got this tool called Lender Match, right? So imagine back in the old day, if you wanted to talk to a bank, you had to go down, you drive up the street, stop at one bank, drive to another bank, stop at another, you had to get multiple applications. SBA has come up with this really good idea. So what they did instead now is they created this online lender referral tool. So you as a small business owner, you go on there and you say, hey, I am, XYZ business. This is a little bit about me. This is the money I'm looking for. This is what I'll be using it for. Bam, it's sent out through the SBA network. We have banks on the other side who are signed up looking to meet small business owners who are looking for financing. They receive an invite that says, hey, this person is looking for this money. And if they match and they like what you are working with, they will opt in and request your information and contact you directly. So it's a win-win for everybody. It saves you time. And then for the small business owner and the bank, it gets them now in front of a small business owner who may in the past not have met.
So one of our brilliant listeners who's out here also wanted to let everybody know that you need to make sure your 2019 and your 2020 taxes are in. Okay, make sure that all your taxes are in as you apply for these loans. There's also a question: if an independent contractor recently moved from Norwood to Dorchester, which is a low-income area, can he or she qualify for the targeted EIDL and EIDL grant?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So if the current business, the current address is in a meets the the low income mapping tool requirements, then yes. And if it gets rejected, let's just say you applied before and you put the old address, but you are now in that a low income community. Remember I was talking about that reconsideration alternative?
Oh yeah. You said that. So
right.
It actually works, man. We
It
thought
works.
you were
Oh,
just talking about it, man.
That's right.
We
That's
thought
right.
you just was talking. So it works, huh?
It works, and I've seen this case. I've seen this case before, so it's not new.
Well, you're the person who makes it all happen, and we're so grateful for that. Let's see. Now, what is it that you want to make sure that everyone takes away with them from our conversation today?
One thing is a name, right? I want you to walk away with it, because a lot of times I've talked to small businesses, I talk to different networks, and I don't know anybody at the SBA, or they just Google SBA and they email somebody in Alaska, and they hey, I need to talk to somebody here locally. So get Bob Nelson, although that title says district director, he goes, I'll tell you, he'll call you at midnight if you need be, right? If you need help really, or on the weekend. So make sure either Bob, myself, that Massachusetts DO email address, Nadine, anyone really today, get their contact, get a name. We're more than glad to help you out through this process. And really, I know sometimes it could be frustrating. You could think that, look, I'm trying to do my best, I'm not hearing it back, and we can help you with that. So don't
So
throw it
so is
off and say
that
it's not working.
Is that Nadine? You mentioned the incredible Nadine Boone. You're talking
There's only
about?
one Nadine Boone I know in my
I-
directory, right? There's only one
I-
Nadine Boone.
is that who you talking about?
That is
Okay.
that is.
Well, someone said since now they understand your passion, they understand that you are real serious about what you are doing. They said, can you please display your email and address and phone number again? Because the first time they were sort of, okay, I'm gonna just listen to this guy. But now that
Oh.
they know and they saw all of your lists and all those things, they want that number. So can you put that up there again? I see it's up there. We're gonna leave it up there so you can take and they didn't put hers right in the chat as well. And so look at it. You can stay connected. All these links and contacts that the SBA has pulled together. So, and oh, look, Bob Nelson, who's the district director, even put his information in there. And as Carlos said, we'll get back to you. They're very responsive. And as you know, we at the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts don't like to deal with anyone who does not treat our community in the manner that we do. That's why we've decided to partner with SBA and with this incredible team of individuals, starting with Bob Nelson, Nadine Boone, and you just get, Carlos, thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation. I'm going to ask you now to stop sharing the screen so that we can close out today's program and give you the appropriate thanks. So Carlos, man, what I love about this presentation was not only the detail, but even on Zoom, the fact that you love doing what you're doing and that's helping people become successful in their endeavors, it sort of comes out, man. And so thank you for that. So appreciate it. We teased you earlier because, we tried to limit your slides before you came on and you wanted to give them more information. So you snuck those slides in on us. We didn't know they were your secret slides, the ones that were, telling us all the things to watch out for. So I'm so glad you were adamant about making sure that they were there. And so to you, Bob, and also to Nadine, thank you for partnering with us. To the team at the Urban League, thank you. I also want to thank everyone in the audience for tuning in today. We have an incredible event happening tomorrow at Whittier Street Health Center, where we're going to announce the fact that a local company, WestNet, Black-owned company, is donating 2 million masks to help keep this surrounding community safe in preparation for the holiday season. And it's something that the Urban League, the Massachusetts League of Community Hospitals, the leaders of those community centers, the Boston Housing Association, COVID-19 Clergy Committee of Boston are all going to be partnered with a lot of nonprofits. And so that's tomorrow at the Whittier Street Health Center, but on Friday at 2:00 in the Urban League parking lot, right in the back of 88 Warren Street. All of you that are in listening distance or hearing what we're saying, come on up to that parking lot and grab an allotment of masks that we can share with you and your family so that you can be healthy and safe. We're going to be distributing to our partners, but also to individuals who we know, who are members, who have joined us in this endeavor, and who just want to be with their families and be safe. Most importantly, become a member of the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts. You can do that by contacting us at www.ulem.org. That's www.ulem.org. You can donate to us. Every dollar matters by going to our website. Again, that's www.ulem.org. ULEM.org. We try to keep it simple. And so, till the next time, thank you for joining us. We're so grateful to you for all that you continue to do. And again, thank you to this incredible team here at the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts for making the day happen. Catch you at the next Leaders Over Lunch. Take care.